Hi everyone. Today we have Rainy from Alibis band, the lead singer, straight from Hollywood, California. How how are you today?
I'm doing awesome, doing really good. It's a bright and sunny day.
Thank you for
How are
joining
you doing?
us.
Yeah.
I'm good. Like I said, I'm in a different type of Hollywood, Florida, but you know.
It's still Hollywood. We're both in Hollywood, so that's all that
Mhm.
matters.
So the band Alibis, how did it start? You guys have been doing a lot of prep work from what I know, and you officially launched in 2023.
Yes, yeah, we started in 2023. I first met actually my guitarist Chris on Vamper, oddly enough. That like it's like a app where you can meet other musicians to work with.
Cool.
So it was really cool. I met him on there and we started writing all the songs for about like 6 months, 6 to 8 months, 6 to 7 maybe. And then we slowly started kind of forming the band and got other players into the band and released our first single, Dark Side, that we released in that time frame. So it was a lot of work then. It's very different now, obviously, because we're like a band and scene at that point. Like we hadn't even created anything yet, but we were just slowly, crafting songs. So yeah, but it started in 2023. Yeah. Mhm.
You obviously had an absolutely different genre of upbringing, classical music, piano, which we have seen in your latest performances. You play piano.
Mhm.
How did that shift happen from classical to the alternative dark
That's a great,
side?
yeah, that's a great question. I was raised, I studied opera and classical piano as a child. So like that classical element for me was always in my upbringing. And I was very rigorous. I did like competitions and I did opera competitions and piano competitions. And I had to like learn how to read music. And so it was kind of just more structured when I was a kid. And then as I grew up, I really fell in love with like rock music. I loved rock. I always really identified and felt like rock music understood me the way I understand rock music. And so I think the goal and the special thing was finding a way to bring that like upbringing and my studies into the rock music and the alibis that I would soon create. So yeah.
You think it's really cool, like you said, rock music helped you understand your emotions better.
Mm,
A lot
yeah.
of people, you know, they don't have the musical background to
Mm,
express themselves as they would want to. So
mhm,
that's really awesome. Who would you
thanks.
say was your first artist that inspired you to join the
uh,
dark side?
Go to the dark side. Yeah. Um, I growing up, I really loved like I loved I don't know, Billy Corgan from Smashing Pumpkins. I loved Marilyn Manson. I really loved also this band called IMX. I don't know if you ever heard of them. Um,
Probably.
yeah,
Hmm.
they're more electronic kind of rock, but they were really badass. And then I really loved I mean, I always loved Evanescence. I thought that was a big thing for me, because it was another female, and I could see myself in her. So I really loved her, and so that a lot of that like very emotional, kind of angry music, angry but like feeling and emotion really like charged me, and I really wanted to create something in that faction and something that like was true and honest and authentic to me, and real. I really hated. I loved pop music growing up. It was cool, but it didn't like really drive home for me because I felt it was very surfacey and less emotional, and I wanted like things that were like edgy and real, you know? So that was my journey to the dark side.
Oh, you mentioned Evanescence. Now I'm looking back at their older work, something like I want to say Going Under.
Yeah.
Uh, if you mix them and Breaking Benjamin, I think would you agree that would accurately describe the mood of your music?
I feel, yeah, I mean, that's a good one. I definitely, I love Breaking Benjamin. I love Evanescence. I think also another good one would be like a My Chemical Romance mixed
Oh yeah,
also with like
yes.
Evanescence. Yeah, that would, the both of those were like big influences for me, and just really finding that, yeah, that dark side. So yeah, kind of definitely I would say that. I would say those, that mesh, you know?
Mhm. Um, Funny enough, they just toured together, Evanescence and My Chemical Romance last year. Have you had a chance to catch them
No,
live?
I didn't. God, that would be amazing. I wish I did, but no, I didn't. But that's a great teaming up. I didn't know that.
It was yeah, it was iconic tour. You are
Oh
going
yeah.
on tour soon, May 31st, and then in June.
So we just have, that's actually, it's a not a short tour, but it's just we have some shows this summer. We were on tour last year, and this summer we're actually going to be releasing a bunch of new singles, bunch of new music. We didn't get to release all the songs that we wanted last year just because they weren't finished. But we're really excited because they're going to be done this summer. So we're going to release them this summer, and we've got a handful of shows that we have on the books, and just haven't released any of the other dates yet. But those are them as of right now. Yes, but there's many more. So yeah,
Are you going to release singles, EPs, or a whole album?
I think we're going to release singles. I think that's kind of the best way right now for us to do that. And it's more exciting, I think. But I love releasing albums, but I feel like right now, just we have an EP release, and I think it's going to be, everyone's been kind of anticipating the next kind of sound and the growth. So I want to release some of the singles going forward. Yeah.
The EP you released recently, that's the one called Damn Love.
Yes. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh man, I listened to Damn Love. It was really, there's a lot of emotion behind it.
Yeah. Yeah.
How did you come up with, with the Damn Love? It's
That one actually was like really about a breakup that I had when I first
Wow.
started this band. It was like a super gnarly breakup. And that actually was a driving force for me to even start this project. I had already planned to start the project, but that was actually the first song that was for this project. And I went through like a really, really, really low place in my life where I just felt like I was at like the lowest of the low. And that experience really helped me to kind of write all these songs. So I'm actually like happy for the experience, even though it was really, really shitty. But it did help me to really find myself as a songwriter. And I'm definitely an emotional songwriter. I love to bring tons and jam pack tons of emotion into it because I feel like people are starving for like authenticity and
Mhm.
realness, and sometimes people are too afraid to like showcase that. And so for me, I'm not afraid of that at all. I want people to see those aspects of myself even if I'm suffering or I'm hurting.
Uh, I agree on that.
Mhm.
I do believe back in early 2000s, music was way more emotional, and we're glad artists like you bring that back.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I agree. Like, I feel like it was way more emotional, and all the artists I grew up with, I loved because they were just so real, and it was emotional, and I could feel it, and I believed it, and so I'm trying to bring that as an artist to people.
For your new listeners, which EP or maybe a song would
Mhm.
be the best piece of your work to start with?
God, everyone loves Dark Side. They think everyone really loves Dark Side. They think Dark Side is the jam. So I would start with that one. I think it's probably one of our like catchiest songs, and but also really conveys like a darkness to it, and kind of a journey in the song. You know, it's progressive. So yeah, I would definitely say start with Dark Side, and I don't even know if you'll want to go past that. You might want to like hit repeat a bunch of times. So we'll see.
I did enjoy it a lot. I'm not gonna
Thank
lie.
you. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks.
Um, the song "Mother,"
Mm,
I it brought up conflicts in emotions.
yeah.
I did want to ask you, what is the song about?
Mm.
Is it personal or?
Yeah, it's personal. It's no, I mean, I've told people, so yeah, this is kind of a long explanation, but the short course of it is that that song was actually written about a time where I actually, when I was like 18, I was sent to a lockdown facility, kind of like a behavioral modification program. Because I kind of was a wild child. I'm not gonna lie, I was very wild. And you know, my parents were obviously hoping that like I would kind of, you know, get my act together and, you know, be a little bit more on the straight and narrow. And you know, I didn't obviously appreciate that experience. I was there for almost a year. Um, and kind of similar to the Paris Hilton story, she also went to one similar to me. Um, yeah. And so that song was just kind of written out of, at that point, kind of about that experience. My mom and I have a great relationship, but at the time, obviously, I wrote it in the perspective of someone who is 18. And that's how I felt. My mom obviously wanted, you know, like any parent, she obviously wants her kid to do well and be okay, and was trying to do what she thought was the best for me. And me as a teenager was like, dude, no, like it's not acceptable. I for a long time, I struggled with that, but you know, honestly, that song was so healing, and my mom and I have a great relationship, and it helped me to just explain my feelings and get like let go of my anger and my frustration of the experience. And I was in Utah of all places, and yeah, and you know, it was very extreme. The experience being in a behavioral modification program as a child was not anything that was easy to go through, and there was a lot of suffering on my end and sadness. But you know, I'm grateful for the experience because I feel like I wrote a great song, and I'm not angry anymore. I'm fine. And but it does help me to heal. The music helps me heal, you know. I don't harbor all this anger and resentment and all these things because of that. So
Happens to the best of us, doesn't it?
yeah, yes, yes, it does. So I mean, you know, it was a tough experience, and there's a lot of people that have gone through that. So but yeah, I actually wanted to shoot the music video at the actual place, but we couldn't end up getting it. So, but we did our best.
No, I think you did great. I love the coughing and the church.
Oh, thank you,
Still,
thank you.
it still translates the narrative of the song, but also that brings back memories of the Helena of My Chemical Romance again.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that one, that was an amazing. Yeah, I loved My Chemical Romance. That was like one of my favorite bands growing up because I just loved the darkness and the dramatic, you know, all the dramaticism. I'm very dramatic as well. So yeah.
Now that you told us about the feelings, the personal experiences behind the songs,
Mhm.
when you're in the studio, how does your writing process looks like?
Mm.
Does it start with like with the lyrics or with the melody or with the
Uh,
guitars?
yeah. Well, recently it started with guitar, but usually for like some of the new songs they have, but for that first EP, a lot of them have always started with me writing a melody, a chorus first. So I'll go on the piano and I will write just a chorus that I like and the chord progressions and come up with a melody that I think is cool, you know? And then Chris and I will sort of build around that. So, you know, he'll come in and he'll program drums or whatever. But he'll play guitar on that, and or I'll add some sort of like synths and stuff. But usually for me, I like to get kind of like a foundation of the chorus to kind of know like, okay, this is cool. I could, you know, picture this, and I like the melody and whatnot. So we usually start it that way, but recently there's been a couple different ways, and so I'm open each time to like different things of whatever institutes the best song. So
Um, wow. I can't imagine how to even make a song. It sounds so
mhm.
complex. But also your vocal range obviously is amazing, and
Thank you.
it varies on the new tracks. How
Mhm.
did you change the approach to your vocal production at all for
um
Them Love project?
yeah, yeah, so I think with this first EP and definitely the new songs you'll hear, yeah, I I never I never really like in my old projects that I did, I didn't feel like I focused on really showcasing my vocal abilities. God, I wish I had in the past, but I think this time it was like a fun challenge to come up with something that I thought was catchy, but also something that could showcase me vocally. Because it's like, you know, I can sing the typical melody lines, but I loved Queen also. I don't, you know, Queen, and
Yeah.
he always would showcase a lot of his vocal range because he was also an opera singer, and so I tried to I tried to bring that in this first EP. I definitely am bringing more of that in even these new songs that are going to come out this summer. And just, you know, I think it's going to probably get bigger and bigger as time goes, you know. So but I'm being highly conscious of trying to really find cool things that I can showcase my voice also in the stuff that we write.
Do you have any creative differences with Chris or other band members when you work on the new music? You can't be tough with the
Always.
bands.
Always. No, I'm just kidding. Um,
How do you overcome them?
yeah. Well, no, actually, a lot of the times we're on the same page. There's been a handful of times where we're not. I think at the end of the day, like we kind of like talk it out and we're like, well, we both kind of hear each other's perspective. And then usually it just kind of works itself out and we kind of see common ground and decide on what it is. Chris doesn't usually um try too much to try and impede on anything like vocally that I'm doing. He'll tell me whether also the one thing I hate is, well, he's so honest, but he'll tell me, he'll be like, oh yeah, that's a really catchy chorus, you know, or if he doesn't say anything, then I'm like, so he doesn't like it, you know. So it's actually more the less is kind of worse when he doesn't say anything. So but most of the time we're usually, him and I are very in sync when it comes to writing, and I feel like it was like so special meeting somebody like that to write with, because you know it's just like we knew we have the same influences, and we're just able to, we know exactly what we want to do musically, and it's just it's freeing and very exciting. But yeah, I think at the end of the day, as far as your question, it's usually kind of worked out. Otherwise, you know, they'll just kind of maybe, I don't know, be like, all right, let's do it, you're right. I'm just kidding. But you know, maybe, I don't know. So yeah.
Um, well, you mentioned the Queen, you have mentioned the artists that have shaped you as the artist you are yourself.
Yeah.
Would you say there are any albums, specific albums that you were listening to while you were making Them Love EP?
The you know, I wasn't listening to any specific albums. I think I was at that time, let me see, I'm trying to remember. So at that time, I was Actually, I was listening to a lot of Bad Omens when they were first coming out. I thought that they were really cool because I was trying to figure out what's the genre or like what is the genre of what I want to write, you know? I listened to Bad Omens a lot. I thought they were super badass. And that was before I started the project. And then during it, I definitely would listen to a lot of Muse also for Muse for like a lot of this like that song Sellout that's more kind of it's got like a lot of layers and harmonies and whatnot. And let's see for the other songs kind of yeah it was like kind of a Bad Omen stuff and then I think also a little bit of I went back to listening to a little bit of Evanescence because I hadn't listened to them in like a really long time at that point, but I was just trying to drive home the genre that I wanted. So I think within those realms is where those songs came from, you know, those influences.
I can see the tone of those bands in the EP for sure.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
you're sharing a lot of visuals on the social media.
Mhm.
Are those the music videos for the EP? I mean, I know some of them are for the past
Yeah.
songs.
Yeah, no, those are for the EP videos. Yeah. We released I tried to like do a story with each music video and really try to kind of convey emotionally what I was trying to say. Not exactly all of them were exactly the situation that the song was about, but it was, I wanted something dramatic for each of the songs, you know, super over the top. Um, I love that. And I love like big showcases and whatnot. So yeah, yeah,
You're fully involved in the storytelling,
yes.
storyboarding of the music videos.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because that's like so essential. I feel like if you don't have a storyline, like if you can't really sell what you wrote the song about, it also like it does you no good to do any kind of visual. So I feel like as you know, as a band, we should definitely be involved in the storytelling because it should really drive home what the song's about, you know?
Yeah, that's true, and
Yeah.
it's great that you're doing that. That's what was done before and
Mhm.
stopped for some reason.
I know.
So
I don't know. Yeah, people. Well, I think people also want to do like stuff that just is like shocking and doesn't make sense, also, which is interesting. Um, and that's cool because a lot of times that's cool too. But sometimes I'm such a theatrical person that for me, I want to tell a story and I want it to be theater-esque, you know? So.
when you're gonna be done making this new music and releasing it, are you going on tour again? Maybe end of this year, next year?
Yeah, I'm hoping maybe fall or it'll be next year, you know. I think we want to first really focus on releasing all these new songs and making sure that like everything is, you know, I'm particular because I want to make sure it looks great and it tells the story and yeah. So all the music's done. We just have to start shooting the videos and then, you know, releasing them and whatnot. So that's like our major goal by the end of this year. And then usually like the holidays comes up. So right after that. So probably like touring probably would be like I don't know, either fall or probably early next year. Yeah.
You been planning to come to Florida? Many bands avoid
Absolutely.
Florida.
Absolutely. And when I do come, I'm definitely going to call you up and be like, hey, you better come out here.
I'll come. I'll be there. But hang out.
Okay. Okay. We love that.
Uh, when you're on tour, apart from being on stage and performing, what do you think is the most challenging thing for you and for the band?
Yeah. For me, it's trying to get some sort of vegetarian or vegan food. Or that's like I'm not eating from gas stations all the time. But no, that's a challenging thing. I think also there are long drives and being able to obviously keep up your stamina and being able to still perform the next night great, even if maybe you hadn't had a lot of sleep or, because sometimes it depends on the type of tour, if you're sleeping, in a van or if you're in hotels or if you're in a bus, So I think, it just depends on basically what you are at that moment. But I think, yeah, it's the stamina definitely. But for me, I'm always so excited to be playing and whatnot because that's like really other than the writing, obviously, which is super fun. But I love showcasing the music. So for me, I'm just like, let's go next show. I'm ready. So yeah, but yeah, that's the main thing, I guess, for me.
Special effects for your upcoming tour? Anything special for the fans? Do you usually go out and do meet and greets, connect with them after the show?
Oh, I love connecting. Wait, did you say? Yeah, I love connecting with everyone after the show. Absolutely. I think that's like the best part about it is when everyone comes and you talk to everybody that's seen you, people that are new fans and people that are older fans, and just kind of learning like, did they like it? Did they like the show? And do they, like the music live? Because it's always different hearing the music live than hearing it, on Spotify or iTunes or whatever, you're taking in the band as a whole and the show. And so for me, I love talking, so I'm there chatting it up. And actually, this goes into your last question. For me, it's hard not to talk a bunch. So I don't want to lose my voice, because I have singing difficult stuff. And so that's one challenge being on tour is losing my voice. So
I can imagine it's hard to maintain.
yes, because I love talking, and usually after shows, I should be like, zip it, So it's a great challenge for me.
Well, I just had my fangs done, so it's hard to talk to me. I gotta get used to it.
Oh, well, they look really good. I was gonna say, I
Yeah.
was like, do you have fangs? Because I kind of
Yeah.
saw it earlier, and then I was like, but I couldn't totally tell, and I didn't want to ask. Could you be like, no? But
Yeah.
they look
Thanks.
great. They
Thanks.
look
Might be
awesome.
lisping, but it's okay. I'm gonna get used to it.
No, no, you're
Um,
not.
you have a lot of followers on Instagram and your
Mhm.
fans supporting you all the time. That's great, and that you connect with them.
Thank you.
Um, by connecting to them directly in person and online, does it really affect your music production? Do you really focus on the feelings you want them to understand or not?
Um, you mean like when I get to know them, or like I discuss with them, like, or just connecting with them, that it does affect the music, right? Is that what you mean,
Yeah,
or?
I mean, the music that, as you described, comes from your personal experiences or some strong emotions. Now that you can connect on a, I don't want to say on a personal level, but in person with the fans, does that affect your
Yeah,
music
yeah.
production?
Uh, no. I mean, for me, I'm always gonna write about kind of like what I'm gonna write about. Oh, does it make me shy or nervous that they know such personal things? At first, yeah, yeah. With one of my songs, especially one of our songs, I was nervous. Um, I was like crazy nervous because with Mother, I didn't even want to put that out because I wrote about that topic. I actually wrote that song many years prior. I just never released it. It didn't have guitar at the time. It was a little different, but I never released it just because it's not how I feel now or anything. But I didn't. And it was such a personal experience, but I felt really freed by releasing it and everyone knowing that deep aspect of myself. There's like a freedom in that. And so now it's okay. I don't care if people know things about me, because how else are they going to connect, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Um,
Did I answer the question right? I did, right?
yeah, I think the aspect of, as an artist feeling shy that people out there might know your personal life and experiences, but again, that's how you connect. And a lot of people might be going through the same kind of thing and not knowing how to feel about it.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And that was something I had to get over with that specific song, you know, and the other stuff, it was just like, well, I just kind of got to bare my soul because if I don't, then they'll never know. And I don't think I'd really live up to, you know, what I aspire to be if I wouldn't put it all on the table.
What is the main message or feeling that you want your listeners to take away after they listen to the CP for the first time?
Um, I want them to feel, I guess for me, I want them to like feel something and feel what I felt in those songs and connect with those songs and know, you know, with Dark Side and with Mother and with even Sell Out and Damn Love and all the songs that, you know, there's there's a lot of difficult times that everybody has, and there are great ways to go about really expressing yourself. And if you don't write music, listening to music to understand and feel whole yourself. And music is that for all of us, you know. And it's really my gift I'm trying to give away. So you know, I just would love if people related and would love for them to be like, wow, that's it was. I feel like it, you know, maybe it's arranged great and really makes me feel something in today's world of such busyness and whatnot that they connect to. So yeah,
I did want to talk a little bit more about the production of the music, but from the musician's point of view,
sure.
technical side mainly. Were there any instruments or specific pieces that you felt were essential for
Hmm.
the production? Maybe special guitars or pedals.
Hmm. Okay, well, I do. I did ask Chris this, and since he isn't here, I'm going to quote him, if that's okay.
Yeah.
He said, "We weren't really thinking in terms of pedals. We were thinking in terms of violence and vulnerability. A lot of the guitar sounds came from layering grit and atmosphere and ambient textures to make everything feel bigger. Whatever made the guitar sound like it was bleeding, we used it. There's definitely some classic influence in there, but we wanted it to feel dangerous and modern too. That EP lives in that space, right on the edge of falling apart. We weren't chasing perfection, we were chasing emotion."
There's a lot of emotion in the technical side too. Chris
Yeah,
sounds intense.
yeah, he is. No, that's a great way. He is intense. Uh, that was a great way. He did a
In
great
a good
job
way.
of, yeah, of explaining it. Yeah, because there is a lot of violence and also vulnerability, you know, of like being able to showcase falling apart and being at that level of just like brokenhearted or just done and empty, all the emotions that we go through as human beings, and finding a way to wrap it up with all of that. And at the end, it all comes together like a beautiful story, you know?
It takes a lot of talent and a lot of emotion, and I want to point out that looking at your recent live footage, there's a lot of intensity on the stage too.
Oh, yeah,
Um, how do
absolutely.
you guys prepare yourself, like mentally, for pouring everything out?
Yeah. Uh, you know, it's such the music is so big. I feel like it's big and epic is the word I use. That it really requires that kind of energy to convey on stage. Otherwise, if you can't bring that, it doesn't do the songs justice. So for me, you know, I try to really center myself before I get on stage, and then I love just telling the story of the songs, and so does Chris, through the stage performance. And you know, for us also, you know, we go to shows to see a show. You know, I don't go to a show to not see a show. I want to see a show as even just an audience member. So I think Chris and I definitely try to give that back to people when you come and see us, is you're there to see a show, not just a band on stage. You know, we want to convey all the madness, all the sadness, all the suffering, all the anger, all of the, you know, all of it.
What kind of audience do you have on your shows? What kind of demographics? Is it more of a younger adults, maybe teenagers? Who knows?
You know, for us, it's kind of crazy. It's such a mixed bag. We have a lot of really young people. We have a lot of like kind of people in their 20s, 30s, and we have all of it. We've made it some fans of like older people too. So I think that's like it's not one thing. So I actually really like that because I feel like we're hitting all different age brackets of people and connecting people of all different walks of life and all different ages. And I think that that's really special, you know. Yeah, I feel like there's a maturity in the music and there's an honesty and it just affects everybody, and no matter what age. So
Do you have any crazy or fun stories from the shows or from the last tour, maybe?
I have one funny story of a dress that I wore at this one show, where I made I made a mistake of wearing a latex dress on
I know
stage.
which one you're talking. I saw the dress.
And yeah, I could not get that down. And I had tights on or nylons on, but it just kept rolling up because latex, it has to have like kind of like a like
Oh,
lube on
there.
it.
Okay.
Lube. And I put lube on it before we went on, and man, it didn't matter. It rolled up, and I didn't have underwear on, but I had tights on. So then at the time I was just like, what do I do? But I just owned it and I kept going because I tried to pull it down a couple times. It wasn't happening, and we were in the middle of songs and near the end of the set. So I was just like, fuck it, like whatever. This is what it is. So that was ballsy, and I feel like it would have been really lame to run off stage. So I didn't want to do that. I just was like, well, this is me, guys. You get to see all of me, really, now. So I hope people didn't see everything, but at this point, I have no idea.
I mean, it's okay, you know.
Yeah,
Some people do that on purpose on the stage.
true, true.
I mean,
Definitely.
remember Antichrist Superstar
Yeah,
shows.
totally, totally. Those are badass. Yeah. Well, those shows are super awesome. Yeah, for sure. So that was an X-rated show, but it was fun. That's my crazy story of that one. Yeah.
Apart from releasing new music, do you have any primary big goal for the band for the rest of this year, maybe?
Um, I think a primary big goal would be the rest of this year. Honestly, my biggest goal is to play a bunch of shows this year and really release all the songs for people to finally get a new taste of the um, next chapter of Alibis. But you know, my dream goal, if you want to know that one,
Please share.
okay. I want to sell out SoFi Stadium. So that is my
Oh my God.
goal. It's a massive goal, and I know I'll achieve it. I don't know when, but I will. So yes,
If there's a will, there's a way,
yes,
as they
absolutely.
say.
So yes.
Are you guys planning to play in any festivals anytime soon, maybe next year?
Yeah, that's another goal of ours, is to definitely play some of the festivals. We definitely want to get on those. So we're working on that. We'd love to be on Aftershock and all of those. So
Rockwell coming up soon too.
yeah, yeah, definitely. So we're working on those, and that's a definitely a goal for us as well in the near future. Yeah,
Are you
absolutely.
attending any festivals as a guest? I mean, not
Um,
as an artist this year.
yeah. I might go to Aftershock, definitely. And I'm not sure about anything else right now. Right now, I kind of got to like figure out. kind of what our release schedule is, but I definitely will be at some of the festivals for sure. Haven't like locked anything in as of yet, but I plan on being there. Yeah.
Okay. Who who do you like seeing live the most? Are there any bands you plan on seeing?
Yeah, yeah. Um, God, who do I really love seeing live? I love watching My Chemical Romance is sick. I love Bad Omen's live stage performance, but my favorite is obviously, well, I don't know, a lot of people have different feelings on this band, but I absolutely love Sleep Token. I think that they're phenomenal. And I love the epic storytelling. You know, their live show live is just amazing, like hands down, like so rad. I really, I definitely would aspire to see them again for sure. And God, I'd love to tour with them. That would be awesome.
Yes, I haven't seen them live, to be honest. I have seen My Chemical Romance, and I think the aftershock, so
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
great.
yeah. Well, Sleep Token was at, I think it was Aftershock. So I saw them. It was a while back, but I saw them, and just since even then, their live show has gotten like big and even more theatrical and over the top. So I really love them. I think they're great.
Evanescence is touring this year too, so might
Yeah,
be might
yeah.
be the lucky year to see them all.
Yes, yes, yes. I definitely want to go see them as well. I 100% will plan on being there to see Evanescence.
I have another question, or unless you
Yeah.
want to share anything else exciting about the band.
No, go. No, that's great.
What would be your message to our readers of Velvet Noir?
Mm. Um, to take away from us or just in general, God,
Whatever you want to say.
we'll listen to our music and connect with our music. Give it a shot because I think you'll really love it. It's hauntingly beautiful, but also very big and theatrical, and um, I think it really connects to a lot of people, and I think that the readers will absolutely love it. And um, yeah, I think music is healing, and I hope that it heals a part of them. So
Thank you so much for being a
thank
special
you.
guest today for
Thank you.
Velvet Noir magazine.
Thank
And we
you.
hope to see you sometime soon in Florida.
Yes, I would love that. Absolutely. And I'll definitely keep you posted.
Thank you.
Thank you.